really call it an evil regime. And I'm not sure whether you're talking about Uyghurs or human rights or that a lot of the companies are just not subject to normal audit or financial rules that we would think you need to have to even consider here in this country. And now you got 3 years. You got 3 years. That's a throwback to an agreement with Trump that President Trump had negotiated, right? You think that's way too long?
I mean, Joe, imagine if we decided that we understood that Enron was potentially cooking their books, and we said, we're going to really hold you accountable, Enron, and your management team, but we're going to give you 3 years to comply with our new accounting regulations. What this did is the Holding Foreign Companies Accountable Act was something that was a vital piece of legislation here in the United States, but we gave them a 3-year period for compliance. And as you know, in political years, that's a lifetime. But that's basically allowing Chinese companies and whatever fraud they might be committing against U.S. investors, it's an open season on U.S. investors for the next 3 years. The 3-year time frame needs to be collapsed to less than one. I think the 3-year time frame was simple political cover. And what I'd love to talk about, Joe, is in furtherance to that question, the largest policy gap potentially in U.S. history for U.S. national security is the fact that we have the Commerce Department, the Treasury, and the Pentagon all on different pages. So if the Commerce Department investigates Chinese military companies and decides that they are working against either U.S. national security or U.S. foreign policy or committing gross human rights violations, they put them on an entity list. That entity list means they can't receive exports from anywhere in the U.S. But the Treasury has its OFAC list, and U.S. investors can continue to invest either wittingly or unwittingly into these enterprises that another department of the U.S. government has determined contrary to U.S. national security. So we've got to harmonize this policy. If you're a policymaker, a legislator, or on their legislative staff, we've got to close the gap. The U.S. Treasury, the Commerce Department, and the Pentagon all need to be on the same page. It shouldn't be that hard. And yet Mnuchin's Treasury did everything he could do to accommodate the Chinese government, the Chinese military, and their nefarious practices.